play stuff out of the way?
He's not play on the day, right?
Yeah, not playing. Not ready to play yet. So he's going to get treated again, just do his typical day tomorrow, and then he's going to head to New York City for whatever activities that he's going to do for part of his NBA appearance with the game and being selected to the game, and then we'll see him in Sacramento, and the idea is that hopefully he'll be able to practice soon thereafter, after the All-Star break. Whether he's able to practice Wednesday, we don't know yet. And still be pushing it probably.
What do you want? It's leaning toward more serious. It looks like, in a general sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think is it 3 weeks tomorrow maybe? So it was a significant deal, and obviously he's done some court work, but he hasn't done extensive court work, and certainly hasn't done any lateral court work, which anybody that's ever done their ankle knows that's the major step.
What do you want you guys to do over the break? Just get away from basketball, relax, get the minds off it?
I think the biggest thing, there is some of that. I do think you need some of that. And I think that's why there's a little bit of an extension this year across the NBA. Games not restarting for 8 or 9 days after the break. I think the other part is that they're expected to return fresh, but still and ready to roll on Wednesday. Use it appropriately. And for some guys, that's different. Guys that have played a ton of minutes may be able to take a couple days off of their legs and need to. Other guys that haven't played as many minutes, they need to probably be more strict in their workouts. We send them with some suggestions, but that's up to them. And this is really their time, and I have confidence that they'll utilize it appropriately.
How will you use that time?
I'm going to my sister-in-law's wedding in Cleveland. So
It's beautiful this time.
it is beautiful this time of year. That's
Better than
right.
here.
That's right. So that will be my first leg of my West Coast trip.
Right, you don't have much of an option in that.
No, I do what she tells me to do. I do what they both tell me to do, but certainly my wife.
Smart man.
Yeah, thank you.
Where do you
Appreciate
think,
that.
what's your state of the team progress right now? Where you are halfway, well not halfway, but at the start break?
Well, I mean, we've had the same team for 3 weeks, so that's been helpful. And so I think that this team is, starting with a couple of those close wins out in the West, and putting together a solid week last week. I think this team is progressing. And that's fun to see. I think we talked about it last week. It's hard to talk about, this team or a team like it's a whole year thing with us right now. It's more the individuals that have been here the whole year have really done a pretty good job of getting better and moving in the right direction. The guys that have been picked up have been good additions and have helped us in that regard too. And obviously none of us are blind to the fact that the trade deadline's 8 days away, and you never know what's going to happen. But certainly, we're hopeful that from our standpoint, there's as minimal change as possible.
How do you feel about this
Are you
team?
looking forward to things in that respect, just the stability that comes out?
Yeah, so I'm not rushing to that day. I'm going to take a couple of days too, and just kind of recenter ourselves and our team and focus on how we can get better and assessing where we are. The last few days have been good in that regard. Watching Atlanta's been really good in that regard. I think that I said this on the radio today. I just think that they've been in the right spots for the better part of a year and a half, and their basketball savvy and their coaching and their intuition have really made great plays. This is a team that you can really learn a lot from as a coach and a player, just watching how quickly they make decisions. And I think we're getting better in making decisions quicker. I think we're making better basketball decisions on offense. I think we're making better, sounder decisions on defense. I don't think we always make them quick enough. And so whether that's youth, whether that's savvy, whether that's, you know, gaining and growing in those regards, which I think we've got good savvy on our team. So I'm hopeful that it's just the experience of having to do it over and over and over and over.
Is there an area you'd like to see progress in the second half? Something you're kind of focused on?
That area, and it's very subjective. I mean, it's going to be, you know, watching the third rotation on an extra pass defensively. It's going to be making sure that we're making the right, you know, taking one less dribble when we need to take one less dribble to move the ball correctly and appropriately to get it to the right guy at the right time. You know, it's going to be things that may never appear in a stat sheet, but you can see it and feel it when you're playing good basketball. And we're, again, you know, I've been really encouraged. We've, you know, I do think that Jay playing at the 4 has helped us find some of those moments quicker, and so that's been really encouraging. And you know, hopefully we can continue to do that.
You mentioned you continue to praise Prince for his savviness. Is your biggest goal for this team just to get more experience? Because you don't have a lot of guys with experience.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, and that's only going to happen by living another day, right? I mean, to just keep coming to practice, keep adding a practice and adding a game, and every day just trying to get a little bit better. You can't rush that. I mean, it's going to happen as it happens. You want to try to expedite the learning curve as quickly as possible, and we're getting a chance to do that from the playing time perspective. But as we talked about before, just because you're playing doesn't necessarily mean you're dramatically improving. We've got to make sure we dramatically improve as we play, and I think that that's something that, you know, I do think our guys are getting better. But again, you know, the litmus test is tonight. This is as good as it gets that we're playing against.
And Brad, the Hawks are a team where it's taken them a few years, a while now, to be as good as they are. They don't have a superstar, but they've got a lot of really, really good players. Do you feel like the Celtics can be built that way if you guys can't land a superstar free agent?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I think we talked last time they came here. It just depends what you define as a superstar too, right? Because they've got 4 All-Stars now, and you know, they're All-Stars because of their individual abilities and their team success, and both of those things contribute and add to the other. Like, you know, I think that you know, everyone plays their role to the absolute fullest. To me, that's a team full of superstars. It's a team full of guys that get it. It's a team full of guys that are just focused on winning. And I think that that's something that all of us can learn from. But I think it's also, you know, it's a fun way to watch play, and it's a fun way to play. The thing that stands out, though, again, is I go back to it, and you really get a couple days to look at it as just the quick decision making, you know, and I'm hopeful that's a function of age, certainly a function of the players they've chosen to go after, and the great coaching that they have, and you know, all of those things, and you know, but hopefully we can continue to build that quick decision making here.
Is it more difficult to win that way and to assemble a team like that as it would be than to maybe get lucky in the draft or sign?
So I don't. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think that you could. You know, I haven't been around long enough to know, to understand, or be able to accurately answer that. I do think that, you know, certainly we are gonna put a lot of stock into competing the right way, into skill, and into basketball decision making, because it's really important to win. Thanks.